Tell us when you're ready.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another special episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast. We're here recording live at the VIP lounge at the TCL Chinese Theatre in Hollywood as the official podcast partner of the 19th annual Oscar qualifying HollyShorts Film Festival. I'm here with my co-host Indiana, my co-host Flo, and with Anthony Young from Hot Pot Productions. Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Well, very good.
Thank
you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Will you tell us about Hot Pot Productions?
So, Hot Pot Production is one of my newer companies. We opened March of 2021. And our mission statement at Hot Pot is to give opportunity to like first-time filmmakers. So we actually partnered up with HollyShorts, because I've known Theo and Steven for a long time. And so I told them that, hey, why don't we create something like where, because a lot of the stuff we do is genre. So what if we create like a genre award where we give a cash prize, but a development, and then plus a development meeting with the winner. So at least it gives them an opportunity to, make their dreams come true, right? So that's kind of the mission statement for Hot Pot.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty great. And it seems like from speaking to you that you've had a bit of success doing this in the past with, the recent short past, because it is still a pretty young company.
Yeah, so Hot Pot is the newest of my company. I have like 8 more, but they do something different, but we're in, and we've done bigger projects, but Hot Pot is more because I promoted my assistant, Sarah, to be the CEO. And so it's also to promote her company, right? And that's why we used Hot Pot to be the sponsor for HollyShorts.
Wow.
Why did you decide to choose genre, that you would award this to the genre winner?
Okay, so I come from business, so I'm really not you call it quote unquote a creative person. So I look at financial viability. I don't really look at the storytelling part. And so, in our experience, genre has proven to be the more financial, in terms of financial, it's the more successful one, and it's easier to market. It's something that could resonate to an international market. Like for example, we don't touch comedy. Why? Because in comedy, it could be funny here in the U.S., but when you translate that to
Right.
another country,
Of course.
It's not going to be funny.
exactly. And so for me, we're looking at also a global market, right? So just in case if it doesn't do well in the U.S., you've got another fallback position, which is the international market.
Yeah. With the genres so we're looking at comedy as a genre, right? And you're ranking it quite low
Right.
in feasibility and how lucrative it could actually be on a global scale. If you were ranking for filmmakers listening who want to get into more the business side of filmmaking, and I want to make a film that's going to make me money, what kind of genre would you recommend they start with? Is it horror, sci-fi? What is it?
So for us, we usually work with horror, thriller, science fiction, and fantasy.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, those are the things that we kind of dwell into.
Okay. And from a global market, Hot Pot Productions since March 2021, who are you finding market-wise or country-specific has been the most feasible to partner with, or you've seen has like a pretty large audience for the shorts that maybe you're picking up in the American market?
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit
Okay.
before I answer your question.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Because when I got into this industry, 7 years ago, the thing that I realized was there were 2 things that didn't make sense from a business perspective, right? So what I saw was, number one, this is the only industry that does not focus on the customer. It focuses on storytelling. So if you have a great story, but if you don't have a customer base, it doesn't really matter, right? And second, a lot of these filmmakers are asking for investment money, right, to make their film, short film, whatever. But there's no home. So if there's no buyer, that is a really risky investment.
Yes.
That's why a lot of investors in the independent space, they do kind of lose money because there's no home, right? So what I try to do is try to address that. Like, okay, what can we do to maybe gather an audience first before, we make a project,
Yeah.
right? And so with Hotpot, we actually partnered up with a lot of AI companies.
Okay.
So we are able to gather data, we data mine, and then from there we study what's the best approach to curate audiences,
Very cool.
and then attach it to a project.
Okay. And when you're working with AI tech on this specific kind of gathering the stats or the potential market, is it are these technologies versatile enough to cover the Chinese market versus the India market versus Canada and US, or are you seeing that the development of AI is only specific to the UK and Canada, predominantly English speaking countries, or is it able to tackle everything?
Okay, so in my experience, there's no one AI that can do everything.
Okay.
So we use multiple different AI programs that would allow us to data mine, and then from there we assess and see what's the best approach. So to answer your question, yes, we can pull information and we would know which is the best market for a particular project, or we would know where the people are.
Wow, that's really cool. And with Hotpot, are you specializing, the majority of the films are short films, or are you doing a mix?
No, we don't do short form.
Okay,
We
cool.
go straight.
Great. Okay.
Either to a feature
Yeah.
or
Series.
or a series. Yes.
Got it. So with HollyShorts, it's more about the development into the feature
Uh-huh,
space
yes.
that you'll be doing the meetings for and the cash grant.
Yes.
Awesome.
So the cash is just more of a token.
It's an incentive.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is to have that, to sit with them
absolutely.
and create that opportunity for them to see, okay, and for us to understand who these filmmakers are, if we can work with them and turn that short into a feature film.
You mentioned another way that you have employed to collect data to decide if you would even try to sell a show. Without mentioning the name of the show, there was one that you built a museum for
Right.
to see if people were even that interested,
Yes.
correct?
Correct. So we built this museum and then partnered up with a PR company to see if there is an audience for it, right? Because we don't want to invest all this money if no one shows up,
Yes.
right? And once you have a collective community, then the next thing is you can now engage with your community and really ask them, what kind of shows do you like, right? And then from there, cater to that audience.
Yeah.
Because most independent filmmaker, they're like, okay, I have this vision, I want to make it, and I'm sure people would love it. But you haven't really asked the people.
What they want
Right.
to see.
What
And
they
then there
want.
from that
Yeah.
data, you were able to sell a show without even having a script.
Yes.
Wow.
So there's
incredible.
no one way to do it, no wrong way.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, our focus is more on the audience
Yeah.
because every buyer out there, right? What do they care about? People that's going to pay subscription
subscriptions.
or going to pay to
For a
watch,
ticket,
right?
yeah.
Per ticket, right? Or to watch, right? So that's what they care about. So our goal is to give it to them. Like, okay, I gave you the paying customer.
Yeah.
What else do you want, right?
Yeah.
And so that model has kind of worked for us in that way.
How would you, so if filmmakers don't have the budget to build a museum, what are some other ways, maybe it's the name of an AI piece of tech that you think, software that people should get into and kind of start doing the research around, what would you recommend as resources for filmmakers or producers to start to evaluate if there's a customer base?
Okay. So, because I always look at the project as a startup, right? So all of these are different startups. So you don't have to build a museum for every project.
Yeah.
You have to kind of probably analyze the project and see kind of what works best. It could be just a podcast. It could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be just gathering data through I don't know, like a survey monkey, you know,
Right.
just trying to get their opinions.
Yeah.
So there's many ways, and you don't have to spend all that money to make a museum,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, but there are ways, but you have to just kind of think outside of the box.
What has been the most surprising thing when you started Hot Pot? Whether it be the types of projects that have sold or the types of people that you've met, what has been something that has surprised you about Hot Pot in the
Okay,
industry?
so when we built Hot Pot, our mission statement was to hire people with no experience, right? But because we want to prove to like kind of Hollywood, like, hey, these are talented people, but you don't see them. Fine, we're gonna break that. You know, we're
How did you find these people?
through going through film festivals
Festivals.
like this or
Okay.
networking,
Yes.
whatever,
Scouting.
right? And so we opened in March in 2021, and by October of 2021, they created 2 high concept series. But of course, how do you know if it's good or not, right? They have no experience. But the beauty of it is those 2 projects already have a shopping agreement. So in less
there you
than 2 years, those 2 projects have major producers attached.
Yes.
And again, with the shopping agreement. So that's under 2 years for a company that has no experienced writers,
Yeah.
whatever that's in there.
Got it. Now, to finish us off, in addition to HollyShorts, what are some of your favorite film festivals that you think are great for people to attend if they want to network or build their own community?
Well, I really like HollyShorts because they're Oscar qualifying, right?
Yes.
It gives the filmmaker that opportunity. TIFF is a good one, of course. Sundance, Cannes,
Great.
right? So those are some, Berlin. So those are some of the festivals that I think would be good for filmmakers to go and network. Because for me, the biggest takeaway here is you gotta know people
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
more than anything.
Absolutely.
Building community.
Yeah, because if no one knows you, they will never see your project, and they don't even know you exist.
Of course.
Right? So you have to build that relationship, and when you have those relationship, all that pitching goes away, because we're having lunch.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're having lunch.
Yeah,
I love it.
and the
Yeah,
beauty
the
of
pitch happens at lunch.
yeah, and then the beauty of that too is this, because if you, let's say, if you don't know these executives, right, and you go to an agent, manager, whatever, they pitch, and if they don't like it, you'll never hear back from them. Now, if I'm friends with them, I take a project and they don't like it, doesn't matter. We're still having lunch.
Yes.
We're friends, and I can take another one tomorrow,
Correct.
right? Because we're all friends.
Yes.
So that is, to me, the biggest takeaway, is because when I first started, that was the thing I did, was build my relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then I can just make a
Vital.
phone call. I bypass all the gatekeepers
Yeah.
and all of that stuff.
That's something that we're always talking about, and especially for me personally, I'm always, since the beginning of we started Cinematography for Actors, I'm just like, everyone, I know you hate the word networking, but please get out there and do it. It's
Yeah.
the only thing that's going to allow you to grow and succeed and progress. Film is a collaborative art form and a collaborative business, and so that takes people to be a part of your team. So that's awesome. I'm glad that you're saying those words as well.
Especially in this business.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially in this one.
Especially in this
you
business,
really
correct.
need to know people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very important.
So,
Yes.
genre filmmakers at HollyShorts.
You're on the right track.
I hope you
Yeah.
win the chance to have lunch with Anthony Young
Yes.
of Hot Pot Production.
Thank you for joining us, Anthony.
Thank you.
Check out Hot Pot Productions. We love Anthony, and we can't wait to see you next time on the podcast. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This has been another episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast. Follow us on wherever you listen to your podcast to keep up to date on new episode releases. We will be live through August 20th here at HollyShorts Film Fest. If you're here, drop in and say a little hello at the VIP lounge. We also want to thank our sponsors, Apogee, Film Tools, Roscoe, Lightstone Rentals, Canon, and First Mile Tech. As a special gift to you listeners, we've partnered with We Make Movies to get you a discount on comprehensive production insurance packages. Use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote by visiting wemakemovies.org/insurance.
If you missed any of our live streams, you can watch all of our interviews on our YouTube channel, Cinematography for Actors. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at Cinematography for Actors. You can also catch us in a more formal setting on Monday, August 14th at Japan House for a panel discussion on the importance of bridging the gap between talent and crew. You can get 20% off of your ticket purchase by using the code HSFF2023CFA at checkout.
Thanks!